Hi, you are welcome to Law and Society with Teresa Mary. This is topic number 3, duty to avoid harm. A cry of "Mind my eyes" is said to be the antidote against sudden blindness. Inasmuch as all are bound by law to exercise due care not to injure their fellow men, everyone also has a duty towards himself to guide against being hurt by any act or omission of others. If Mr. Y, while mending his torn clothes, is carelessly wielding his needle dangerously close to the face of Mr. Z seated beside him, and Mr. Z, instead of shifting and giving that cry of "Mind my eyes," decides to set his face even closer to the source of danger till irredeemable harm is done to either or both of his eyes, court will hold him liable for contributory negligence if he sues Mr. Y to claim damages against him. That means that blame for his injury will have to be shared 50-50 between himself and Mr. Y. Another instance, when Mr. P, a local wrestler, threw a challenge to the famous Mighty D, boasting of how he would surely feed this international heavyweight wrestler with dust if he was man enough to accept his challenge. And the match, when it took place, resulted in Mr. P injuring his spinal cord and suing Mighty D for damages. It was held by court that the claimant was not entitled to damages based on the legal maxim voluntas non fit injuria. A volunteer cannot be had to complain of injury. The above two examples go to show that it is not in every case when a civil wrong is established that the defendant is held liable by court to pay damages to claimants in redress of same. The facts of each case will always act as guide to the court in determining whether the blame should either go to claimant or defendant, or must find a center stage between the two parties. Now listen to the facts of this case. Native Dr. ZZ was a snake charmer who always pulled a large crowd whenever he came to Fortune Street to sell his popular herbal remedies. One day, as the crowd was pressing around him, he called out to the people, "I get the medicine for match it. After I give you, if dem cut you cutlass, e no go enter lie. Na only 1,500 I dey take give that one. And I get medicine for bullet. After I give you, you go be odieshi sotey if dem shoot you gun, e no go enter lie. That one na 2,000 naira I dey take give am. Kuma, I still get medicine for scorpion and snake bite. You see this snake wey I put round my neck so, no think say I don comot im teeth o. Na the medicine wey I wan give you today go make snake sit down for your body like necklace wey e no go bite you lie. The medicine na only 2,500. Scorpion too, see am for here. You see how big this one dey, but see as I come take dey use am in a poison tail, dey touch my eyes like this. Na so after I give you the medicine for snake and scorpion, then two poison go just be like water for your body. E no go do you anything. You hear me so? Medicine for scorpion na only 2,700. Even sef, I still get medicine for acid o. See, acid na him I put for this cup so. You see am as I pour am for this waterproof. You see am so? You see as e take burn this cloth and melt the waterproof patapata. See as I wan come drink am for your front now. You see as I take drink am like water. Na so after I give you the medicine for acid, even if dem throw away you inside acid like swimming pool, e go be for your body like ice water. This one na only 3,000 I dey take give am. Mr. G, a 25-year-old graduate applicant, was in the crowd. He was thrilled beyond measure by Native Dr. ZZ's performances. He had always known that this world was full of wonders, and he just loved things that bordered on the metaphysical. How he wished he had a job and some cash to spare. He would have gone for every single one of the charms that native Dr. ZZ was advertising. He checked his pockets and gathered all the cash he had on him. The total amount was 1,470 naira, and he needed 200 naira out of that sum to get a bus back home after the day's job hunt. He stepped forward and pleaded with native Dr. ZZ to accept his 1,270 naira for the cheapest one of the charms. I been know they reduce money at all before, but because of you, I agree, native Dr. ZZ told Mr. G, eliciting effusive gratitude from the young man as he collected the money from him. Now the one for machete I will give you. Now that one be the cheapest. And so, under the watchful eyes of the crowd, native Dr. ZZ made incisions on the back of Mr. G's left hand and rubbed in the medicine. Then he reached into his dirty leather medicine bag and pulled out a talisman which he gave to Mr. G. You go dey wear this one every time for your waist, native Dr. ZZ told Mr. G. Oya, make you wear am now so that we go test the medicine. An excited Mr. G tied the talisman around his waist as instructed and presented himself for the big test. Native Dr. ZZ resharpened his cutlass and held it up before the cheering crowd, assuring them that it was as sharp as a razor. Then he asked Mr. G whether he would like to have the test cut on his neck, but the young man, judging that it would be just too much of a risk in case of incasity, hitched up his trousers and asked native Dr. ZZ to inflict the test cut on his left thigh instead, which decision was a big saving grace, because as the crowd cheered and cheered, Mr. G soon felt a searing pain in his brain following the impact of the cut in his thigh. The young man started yelling like mad when he saw his blood flowing on the ground. The crowd dispersed pronto. Native Dr. ZZ was immediately arrested by the police, and the injured young applicant was rushed to the hospital. As native Dr. ZZ was being prosecuted by the police in a magistrate's court on a charge of inflicting grievous harm, Mr. G got himself a lawyer and instituted a civil action against the native doctor, claiming 50 million naira damages against him for trespass to the person. At the hearing of the suit, claimant's counsel had an uphill task trying to convince court to give judgment against defendant for trespass to the person, that is, battery. At the end of the day, court held that claimant was not entitled to damages because, going by the legal maxim voluntas non fit injuria, the law would adjudge him to have consented to the injury he received. Yes, indeed, a volunteer should not complain of injury. Thanks very much for listening. We'll have you another day on Law and Society with Theresa Mary. Remain blessed. Goodbye.